Hi everyone, I hope you're all well. For today's PE lesson, you are working on your fundamental movement skills. Okay? The lesson is to have a clear understanding of the different fundamental movements in sports. So there's 5 key fundamental movements that we're going to be focusing on today. You need to know them off by heart. You need to also perform them with good technique. And you need to perform them in multi-directions, so different ways. So that's what we're working on today. We need to do 3 checks before we start. First one is making sure you have a clear space. If there's any objects in the way, make sure you remove them. The second one is making sure you are wearing appropriate PE kit, PE top, PE bottoms and shorts. And the last one is making sure you have a water bottle close to you. There's going to be times in the video where you can pause it and have a quick drink. If you've done them PE checks, let's get into our warm-up. Okay, warm-up today, we're going to go through 3 different movements. The first one being a jog, the second one will be a 2-footed side jump, and the last one will be a sidewards shuffle. Okay, if you don't know what one of their movements is, don't worry, because you're going to be following along with me. Remember, it is just a warm-up, so you don't need to be going as quick as you can. Find a sensible speed just to increase that heart rate and get our bodies nice and warm and prepared for our main activity. So if you're in your space, let's get started. 3 movements, 3 sets, won't take long. Following along as best as you can. Starting with that jog, and then we're going to go into our 2-footed side jumps. Okay, let's go. Feet together, sideways jumping, stay in the balls of your feet. Nice tight core, head looking forward. Great start, well done, keep going. And into our side shuffle. Keep the body, hips facing forward, travelling sideways now. So feet should come in together and then apart. So put your feet together, make sure they're not touching. Well done. Still on the balls of my feet. Back into the middle, that's our first set. Second set, dropping on the spot. Well done everyone, keep going. 2-footed jumps, side to side. Little pogos, sideways pogos. Great work, well done. Now side shuffles, to the right, to the left. Keep going. Well done. And then knees a little bit, so you can push off. If you're struggling with this movement, face one of your shoulders and travel towards your shoulder. Keep them hips forward though. And back into the middle last set, into our jumps. Feel that heart rate increase now. Breathing a little bit heavier. Swing them arms still. Pogos. Well done everyone. And side shuffle. To the right, to the left. Couple more. Then we're done. Keep going. Keep following, well done. Good, and stop there. Okay, so pause the video and get yourself your first drink. Well done. Okay, you should have had a quick drink. Should all be ready for your main activity now, nice and warm from your warm-up. I've created a quick slalom here with my spots. You don't have spots at home, or you probably don't. So you could use things like pillows, boxes, soft toys, and I've also been seeing people use plastic cups. So there's a lot of equipment at home that you could use just as markers to create your small slalom that we're going to be going through. Like I said, today we're working on our fundamental movement skills. There are 5 that we need to know. First one will be running, second one skipping, third one side steps, fourth one hopping, last one is jumping, two-footed jumps. Okay, so with your slalom, we're going to start at one end, going through the first fundamental movement, which is running. We're going to run through just like this. When you get to the end, you're going to change your fundamental movement. I'm now going to skip through. Okay, got to the end, now I'm side stepping. Okay, next one was hopping, so hop through the gaps. Get to the end, and the last one was jumping. So on the balls of our feet, just going to jump through the gaps, just like that. When you've done all five, you'll have a little rest, and I want you to go through that I've just shown you 5 times. So when you've done all 5, rest, and then have another go at all 5 again, and you're doing it overall 5 times. Okay? Work on the technique, make sure you're being clear with the movement. Good awareness, good control of the movement. It doesn't have to be quick, but if you can speed up each movement as you go through, that is great. The gaps can be a little bit bigger. I just wanted to make sure that you can see all of the spots in the shot. Okay, pause the video and off you go. Okay, year 1, so you should have had a practice at all 5 fundamental movements. Before we get on to our progression, let's talk about the types of things that you need to be focusing on when performing movements. Whenever you're performing a movement, we need to make sure that we stay in an upright position, and that our movement isn't here where we're bending over, facing down at the floor. We want our chin to be up, facing the direction you are travelling in, and we want our back to be nice and straight. So a nice, strong and tall upright position whenever we're performing a different movement. I also want us to think about our foot placement on the floor. We need to make sure that we always stay on the balls of our feet, that we're not down on our heels like this, that we're up on the balls of our feet. We're not upright on our toes, just on the balls of our feet. So balls of our feet is around this position here, just past halfway up near our toe. Okay? Whenever we're travelling, we need to make sure that we're using our upper body as well. We're using our arms. It's going to help us with balance and momentum. It's going to drive our legs as well. Okay? And then moving on to the last one that I want us to think about is making sure that we're driving our legs. There's always needs to be a slight bend in our leg. That's going to allow us to create tension in our hamstrings, in our quads, in our glutes, to then push off the floor, so then we can travel forwards or in different directions. So that's something that we need to be thinking about whenever we are moving. Let's get into our progression now. As you can see, I've created a diamond with my markers. Now my diamond's very small because I want it to be in the shot. Your diamond might be a bit bigger than mine. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm just going to go through all of my different movements, but in different directions. So I might run sideways, run back into the middle. I could run backwards and then forwards. I might hop to the left, hop forwards. I might sidestep to a different direction. So I'm now thinking about different movements I can perform and the different directions I can also go in. Okay? Then I want you to have a little rest, so maybe work for 1 minute thinking about the different movements that you can perform in different directions. You could hop backwards, remember, and then hop back forwards. You could hop sideways and then hop back. Okay? And then I want you to have a little rest. When you've worked for 1 minute, go back into it, and I want you to focus on speed. How quick can you perform these movements as well? Okay? So we're now focusing on direction and speed. We've focused on the movement itself. Now it's direction and speed. Okay? So that's your progression activity. Off you go. Right, so you should have just gone through the progression activity where we were focusing on direction and speed. Could you run in all the directions? Can you run forward? Can you run sideways? Can you run backwards? Can you skip forwards, sideways and backwards? Can you sidestep forwards and backwards? Okay? So it's really changing the movements and the direction that you're going in. Okay, I'm going to set you a challenge now, year one. For your challenge, you're going to work for 1 minute, so you might need someone to time you. So whoever's available at home to time you. And you're going to travel to a corner of your diamond as many times as you can in the 1 minute. However, every time you go to a corner and then back into the middle, you must change the next movement. So let's say I run to my yellow spot and back. That's 1 point for me. I now must go into a different movement. So now I might jump forward and back. That's 2 points. I now might skip and back. That's 3 points. I'm trying to do it as quick as I can because you've only got 1 minute worth of time to do as many movements as you can. Okay, so every time you get to the middle, you must change your movement. You must also change the direction you go in. Okay, but 1 minute working as hard as you can. Then have a rest, and then see if you can do it again and see if you can beat your time. Try and use all 5 movements. Try and go in different directions. Try and perform them as quick as you can. That's your challenge for today. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson. Well done to everyone that has worked hard. Hopefully I'll see you soon.